I'll tell you about my big break. This was my big break. And I was a hobbyist, right? I did just for fun. Well, there was a Vegas headliner that came to the city nearby. And I went to a show. I got tickets to a show and drove. It was like 7 hours. So nearby, I lived in Canada. Nearby is like 7 hours. And so I drove to a show, went to a show. And the next day he had a masterclass, a teaching session for local magicians, right? You spend $100, you go and you hang out with them. Well, I didn't have the money, but I found it. And I went to this class. And I got there early before anybody else. And it was a long boardroom. And I put the most comfortable chair at the head of the table. And I sat next to it. And I told everybody, that's where Jeff is going to sit. And just wouldn't let anybody sit at the head of the table. And sure enough, he came in and he sat at the head of the table. And he was a few minutes early too. So he turned to me and says, what kind of magic do you perform? I said, oh, just like close up, like card tricks and stuff. He's like, well, show me something. Oh my gosh. So I very nervously performed a classic piece of magic. And he watched. He was very gracious. And he gave me a couple pointers. And then he taught his class. And at the end, he said, Derek, I think you need to come to Las Vegas and study with me. And that was the moment. That was the break. This invitation to go to Las Vegas to start to learn from one of the masters in the art of magic. And I started doing that every few months. And under his guidance, my career really took off.